My name is Jakari Young, Chief of Police, Daytona Beach Police Department. At approximately 2:30 this morning, a search warrant was executed on a property that was located just outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm thrilled to announce that this search warrant has resulted in the arrest of Ozone Wallace. Involved in this search warrant was the United States Marshal Service, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the Homeland Security Investigations, the Georgia State Patrol, who are the ones that executed this search warrant, and the DeKalb County Police Department. The property was located in the woods, in a wooded area with two structures on it, along with a trailer and a treehouse. The rest of the 3 acres is covered in woods. The property is affiliated with an organization called they call themselves the Not Effing Around Coalition, or just simply known as the NFAC, which is a black nationalist paramilitary organization. Ozone Wallace was located hiding in a treehouse. In the treehouse with Wallace was multiple flashbangs, rifle plates, body armor, 2 rifles, 2 handguns, and several boxes of ammunition. A large arsenal of weapons was also located in the main residence. 4 additional people were located on this property. The Daytona Beach Police Department has a member assigned to the U.S. Marshals Task Force. That member, along with 3 other Daytona Beach police officers, were on scene with the above agencies and put Officer Rayner's handcuffs on Wallace. This investigation is ongoing, and I want to thank the folks that are standing up here behind me who have worked tirelessly over the past 56 hours since this incident occurred. Many of these folks haven't slept, at best maybe 2 hours, since this whole nightmare unfolded. Some of them haven't slept at all. I want to thank the entire Daytona Beach Police Department for how they all rallied around each other and came together to support and uplift not only themselves, but the family of Officer Jason Rayner. I'm extremely proud of this organization for their response to this horrific event. I also want to thank the Volusia Sheriff's Office because they were with us pretty much immediately from the time this incident occurred. They were locked in step with us. The sheriff sent out the mutual aid requests, and we had agencies from all over Central Florida that responded into the area and took part in this manhunt, and I'm extremely grateful to all of them. I also want to thank, I can't thank them all, but just the community, not just the community, people from all over the country that have flooded this department with nothing but support, offering their resources. And again, I just can't thank them enough. I also want to give a brief update on Officer Rayner and his condition. As of yesterday, there were very positive signs of improvement. He still has a ways to go, but basically from his condition right now, they feel comfortable moving forward with more testing because they've determined that he's now strong enough to endure more testing. So as of right now, his outlook is improving. It's a positive one, but we're just going to continue to pray that he continues to heal. And I have the permission of his mother and his sister to let everybody know that, you know, they greatly appreciate the support that they've received, and they request that we just continue to keep Officer Rayner in our prayers. And again, like I stated, the majority of these folks, to include myself, haven't received much sleep, so I'm not going to go much further into this. But again, most importantly, he is in custody, and at some point he will be making his way back to Daytona Beach. So with that in mind, I will take a few questions because, like I said, these folks haven't slept much, so I'm sure they're ready to finally decompress. I think everybody right now is just experiencing the fatigue that sets in after a huge adrenaline dump, because that's what it's been for the past 56 hours.
Did Wallace say anything when he was arrested?
Yeah, he actually did make a statement. What he said was, "You guys know who I am, you know what I'm capable of, and it could have been a lot worse." That was his statement.
Can you give us any more details about what led up to the arrest? How was it maintained peaceful if he was so heavily armed?
I think the timing of it played a lot to do with how it ended. Again, just the surveillance and the technology that was used was phenomenal. That ultimately led up to his arrest.
So did you receive any tips at all?
We were flooded. We were flooded with tips around the clock. They didn't stop. We had all kinds of tips coming in, but it was based on the surveillance and the technology that we were able to utilize in the complete total team effort of law enforcement all over this state and the federal level that led us to that treehouse just outside of Atlanta, Georgia, where he was taken into custody.
What other charges could those other 4 people be facing?
I don't know. That would be a question for the authorities up on that end. But obviously we know Wallace is facing attempted first-degree murder of a law enforcement officer.
Were the other 4 people with him members of the militia? Or?
I don't have that information. I don't have that information.
Will Wallace be booked into DeKalb County facilities and then extradited down here?
I believe so. I believe so. Yes.
What's been your biggest challenge over the last 56 hours?
Probably the biggest challenge is just keeping everybody emotionally intact, because officer safety is just critical. And, you know, biggest challenge for me is just making sure that, you know, all of our officers and everybody involved in this investigation just remain vigilant and just kept themselves safe, because we deal with a lot. And at some point, everybody has to go home to their family, and our families worry about us just like anybody's family members would. But for them to just consistently stay at it and stay out here in these uncertain conditions, not knowing exactly where he was and who was working with them, but they never gave up. They stayed in the fight, and again, I'm just extremely proud of all of them. The investigation as a whole was extremely challenging, but for me as the chief, just worrying about, you know, them not just physically but mentally, and just wanting everybody to be safe while we were out here hunting.
Was the weapon used in the shooting of Officer Rayner recovered?
That's a great question. I don't know. I don't have that information just yet as far as if we've recovered that weapon.
Do you know any reaction from Officer Rayner's family at this point?
Well, I woke them up to tell them the news, so as you can imagine, there was a huge sigh of relief, and I'm hoping they can get a few hours of sleep now finally, and now they can just solely focus on Officer Rayner and his recovery. But obviously I wanted to make sure that they were notified before we sent anything out that he was in custody.
Any other questions?
Thank you.